I want to come on and say something, and this is probably going to be surprising to a lot of y'all coming from me. Um, I've been a stepdad. I was a stepdad for about 10 years. Okay. When I came in the young man's life, he was a little over a year old. So he was young. It was easy to fall in love with him. An amazing kid. He's probably one of the greatest experiences that I've ever had in my life. But with why do I agree with what people say? If you become a stepdad, you're a fool. Okay? And the only reason women are disagreeing is because they want men to be fools. You have absolutely no control in that young man's life or woman's life, and you take the place of the father, literally. There's no comparison to somebody that lives in the house versus somebody who doesn't. I don't care if they love their dad to death. You're the one that's cultivating them, okay? When he hurts himself, you pick him up. When it's time to be a man, you tell him how to move forward. In the proudest moments, you're there because
What we see here is a man talking about being a stepfather. To be a stepfather, it takes a special type of man to be a good stepfather. You have to be a father to a child that's not yours. Not every man can do that. But the thing is, what we see from a lot of these women, they want you to accept them when they have kids. But the woman don't want to give you the power to discipline their kids. They want you to be there and provide and pay for everything for her and her kids, but you have no power in disciplining and running the household and being the man of the house. So when you are a situation like that, if you're a stepfather that's in that type of situation, you are a fool. You are getting played, you are getting used. But if you're doing it the right way and you're with a good woman that trusts you and wants to be with you, and she's saying, you know what, you're going to be the father of this child and you need to discipline as you see fit, that is a good situation. But no man grows up and says, I want to be a stepfather. Sometimes you're in those situations. I've had a stepfather. He was amazing, but he was my father. There was no, you ain't my daddy. There was none of that. There are good men out there that are stepfathers, but you are a fool if you being a stepfather taking care of somebody else's kids, but you have no power. You have no power. There's a lot of men getting used by women, and they're pushing this narrative of you should still be able to date me and love me even though I have kids. But you're not giving that man, that good man that's willing to take you on and your kids the power to be the head of the household and get the respect and discipline the kids as he sees fits. This is why I tell a lot of single mothers, a lot of you shouldn't be dating when you have kids. You shouldn't, because you can't say, you know what, you can't give the man that you're with that's willing to be with you and your kids the power to be a real father. So, yes, you are a fool. You are a fool if you really are taking care of these kids, taking care of a woman, but you have no power. You have no power at all. That's the reason why he's saying that. He must have been in a situation, and we'll watch the rest of this video where he might have got played.
you create the timelines to pick him up, where he's going, all these things. And in my situation, I controlled everything in the young man's life. I took control at a year old. Okay, what team? I was his coach. I was his teacher. I was everything. I picked him up from school. Even though I worked all the way in Houston and we lived in Beaumont at the time, I picked
Mm,
him up from school.
that's
Okay.
far. That is far.
Um, and then one day, he's out of your life. And the woman tells you, you don't need to see my son.
Mm.
Okay. It's not about the hurt and the pain. What it's really about, because that's been over a long time, it's about you investing so much in somebody And a woman's bitterness alleviates that
Mm.
in a moment. And there's no judge that can change that because you're not his father.
Mm.
The greatest pain of it is the child. And I truly believe that my former stepson still suffers from what happened. And I had nothing to do with it. And I couldn't do anything about it.
Mm.
Couldn't do anything about it. There is, and that's the worst part.
Well, that's what you have to understand, right? The person that does not benefit, or the person that gets ruined the most, is the kid. So what you see from a lot of single moms, they jump from one man to another man to another man to another man. That's what they do. All that's damaging is the kid. You have somebody stable, you have somebody willing to go out and beyond for the child, for your child that's not even his. Then you just walk away from that, thinking you can get another man, thinking you can do better. See, women don't understand. Your kids are baggage. When you have kids and you're single and you're trying to find somebody, your dating pool goes down immensely because not everybody wants to be a stepfather. Not everybody wants to be a stepfather. So if you found somebody willing to take care of your kid as if that's theirs, why would you leave that? That's selfish. What I always tell women, these single moms, who comes first? You or the kids? The kids. If that man is stepping up and being a father to your child, that's what comes first. You want these men to date you with your kids, and then you find somebody, and then after 10 years you leave them. The only person that gets affected is the kid. The kid had somebody ever since he was 1 year old for 10 years, a father figure, somebody that he probably called dad, that was with great relationship, and you just up and leave. This is why a lot of you women shouldn't be mothers. You can't recognize a good thing when it's right in your face. You still chasing the club life. You still chasing this. You still think they might be a better man with more money. When you got a good thing that's somebody that's taking care of your kids. That's why I said it takes a special person to be a good stepfather. I'm telling you. I'm telling you. Because no man says, I want to be a stepfather. That doesn't happen. So women, if you got a good stepfather, why would you ruin your kid's life? So you couldn't wait till he turned 18, 19. You couldn't wait. You had to do that in the middle of his life, 11 years old. That kid for sure is damaged. Those are the kids. Now that kid is looking for a father figure. Those are the kids that's looking for a father figure hurt. They go into the church and they run to somebody like a Pastor McNutt. Looking for a father figure, looking for somebody to cling on, and next you know they're in a bad situation. It's because they want that male validation. That's how these kids get into the situations they in. Single baby mom, didn't pay attention. It always comes down to that. Had a good father figure, left them because they want to get with somebody else with a little more money. Now the kid is lost, got him in the church. The pastor take a liking to him, and now the pastor and the kid. This is how these things work.
Because the kid will have trauma that he shouldn't have had.
Mm.
Yeah, that's the worst part.
Hmm.
Um, yeah, that's the worst part.
That's very true. This is the reason why a lot of our kids are messed up. It's because of the parents. It's because of the single moms, the deadbeat dads, the non-nuclear homes. The reason why these kids are messed up is because of the parents. A woman found a good situation, a good man willing to take care and step up and be the father for your child, and you trick it off because maybe you want somebody else that got a little bit more money, maybe got the bins, and then you tell them don't worry about the kid. Still don't want to continue the relationship at least so the kid has somebody that they can trust and be around and learn from. Take that away because you don't want to be with the man. That's what's wrong. That's the reason why our kids are in trouble. That's the reason why our kids are doing these things and we can't explain it. It's because of the parents. It all comes down to the parents. Let me know your thoughts about this in the comments below. Like, share, and subscribe to the channel. As always, keep the thing rock, keep it going. I appreciate you guys. Make sure you tap into the Patreon. Link is in the description below. Monday through Friday, 10:21 a.m. Pacific Standard Time. We got the No Filter Morning Show. Talking real things at all time. But I appreciate you guys supporting me. And we're going to keep this thing rocking, keep it going. I'm out.